Here's a short trading setup video. This particular chart is an hourly chart on the cable, the British pound against the United States dollar. It's an hourly chart, and what we can see over the last few days, and this is back to last week, is a very strong support between, say, the support level at 169 and pushing up to 170, and then moving up a little bit further to 170.5, and strong resistance being met there. And you can really tell the significance of these levels when we see the upper shadows and how far they've moved up and then being rejected. Again, moved up, being rejected, moved up a little bit, being rejected, and furthermore here, moved up to that sort of nice round number and being rejected on a number of occasions. And again, throughout this period here, being rejected, and then finally we've seen this quite a strong fall over the space of 5 to 6 hours. Quite a strong fall in the cable, losing around 250 points, so that's quite significant. And what we're seeing now is this certainly well established over the last couple of days sort of downtrend, and we've seen, of course, these little counter trend rallies, continual movement down, counter trend rally, movement down, and we're in the midst right now of another counter trend rally, albeit this one has been a little bit longer, and this is over a weekend here, a little bit longer. This being a Friday and now Monday, a little bit longer than the previous ones. But what I'd expect to see now, or potentially what we could see, is the cable just rolling over again like it's done previously, and this could give us an opportunity to short the cable and take out a short trade, with the potential really being you could really sort of foresee this falling around 100 points, simply because that's the sort of movement that it's fallen previously. We've seen here close to 100, here we've seen 100, and if we just saw this roll over again, we could easily, as I said, see the potential for a short trade, short the cable, and potentially see a fall of another 100 points or so, in line with the sort of pattern that has formed over the last couple of days. Now, admittedly, the shorter two moving average, the red line there, has turned up and approached the blue closer than some of these here, and that's what I'm saying. It certainly has been a little bit more resilient this time. But if we did see a rolling over and perhaps a break through that key level there of 167, if we saw it break through down there and perhaps close the hour at that particular level or below that level, we could short the cable, and you could quite easily see it falling that 150 points and resulting in a good solid short trade, which will probably only last half a day or so, but certainly see the potential there. I mean, as I said, we've seen quite a bit more resilience on this particular occasion than we've seen previously, but we noticed the last couple of hours there's been a lot of indecision. We've seen that little push up. We've got here a doji, a lot of indecision, and right now we're forming another doji, and this last candle here that I'm looking at now is only 9 minutes old, so that has another 51 minutes to run in this particular candle. But certainly the last couple have been demonstrating that indecision, the really not sure what we want to be doing. So I identify this sort of round number here, the 167, as a key level, and if we broke back down through that, close the hour below that, as I said, you could certainly see grounds to initiate a short trade on the cable, with that sort of profit falling back down even further. If I just zoom out, you'll see that over the last last couple of weeks, we can see that the cable, in fact, has been down at these levels, the sort of 163 to 166 level. All last week it appreciated quite strongly, and we could easily see it rolling back into this range here, and that's where you can see that sort of potential profit of a good 100 points, maybe roll back again another 100 back into this range that we saw only just a couple of weeks ago. So there's certainly potential there for a short trade. I wouldn't be looking much for a long trade right now. If I just zoom back in there for you, if we saw this continue to move a little bit higher up, I certainly wouldn't be jumping into a long trade at this particular point in time. I'd certainly be putting this on the back burner and waiting for it to move back into this range here, and then perhaps progress from there. The only thing I'm looking at here with the cable is a short trade, and as I said, I see some potential downside there should it break back down through that nice round number at 167, and certainly see some downside potential there.